I think there's a lot of actions that parents take that soothe themselves rather than are the best and most appropriate action for the child. So when we think about parenting in general, there's two kind of layers to it to me. You've got the instantaneous interaction that you're in, and making sure that everything is happening in that interaction. And you have the long-term development of the child, kind of up into the maturity of an adult, right? So you've got this like instantaneous scenario, yeah, and then you've got an adult, and so anytime you're parenting, you have to kind of be working on two layers in my mind, of like, will this solve whatever's going on now, and does it lead to the most resilient, amazing, long-term, awesome adult? And I think that a tool like yelling often solves the problem in the moment. So it can vary, like, hey, I need to be heard, so I'm going to take the idea of yelling quite aggressively to be heard. Um, and I say that is soothing to the adult because it solves the immediate problem. But if we look at the long-term ramifications of that, there is not really a positive long-term outcome of yelling. People will argue that it does something along the lines of making kids more resilient or harder, but that's just fundamentally flawed in terms of there's no data supporting that being yelled at makes you a more resilient individual. So when we use yelling, we are often trying to, like I said, solve the problem that we're currently in, which is how I view that, as like, it's for you, it's not for them. Because if it was for them, you'd be like, what's the tool I could use to give them a boundary that would make them a better adult down the road? Say they're pushing buttons or something like that, while also educating them that, like, this is how you handle stressful situations without immediately losing your crap and going to a yell. So
Right.
that's kind of what I mean with yelling is for you, not them.
Yeah. It's funny because you say they could be pushing buttons, and it's like they could be pushing physical buttons while also pushing metaphorical buttons. So there's
Yeah.
many of buttons that could be pushed to cause. And I think about it as like an inability to manage our emotions. And I say
Mhm.
that because my son and I are going through a lot of conversations when it comes to yelling. And I noticed that there was a time back in our days where I tried to dominate the conversation, right? It was, to your point, like I'm trying to shut it down. And so the bigger and the louder I get, I realize I mean, anyway, what I think I was trying to do as I look back on it is I was trying to put them into a place of fear where it's like, dad's
Mm.
going to keep getting bigger. Dad's going to keep getting louder. Dad could get scarier unless I stop whatever is making him get to this point. And so, like, to me, that's a lot of these fear aspects. This was just a snippet from my interview with Pat Barber from the Fathers Guild. Make sure you give a subscribe to the channel because the full episode could be coming out now. And if it is out, it's going to be linked up here. Thanks for watching Deepish Conversations.